Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. This video will have to do with the full moon, March 19th, 2019 at, I think it's 9:42, 9:43 p.m. East Coast time. Now, you guys may not know this, but I'm going to wake a couple of you up. A big mob boss was taken out, and that doesn't happen. They don't take out mob leaders unless there's reason. So I had to look into that. I grew up on stuff like that. I love to investigate. I grew up on mob movies. When I was a little kid, I loved I didn't really love them, but I watched the army movies. But then the mob movies I saw. Once I saw the mob movies, I was hooked. I said, wow, if only the world was run that way, where you did what the freak you were told. Ah. Peace out to one of the greatest comedians of all time, Mike Marino. Ironically, I had on a shirt. I made shirts for Mike Marino, one of the greatest comedians coming out of Jersey, but he lives out in LA. And I forgot I had the shirt on underneath my uniform. I'm working, and some guy comes in, and he's kind of, just doing what he's doing, but I'm looking at him. And the more I look at this guy, I'm like, wow, this guy really acts like Mike Marino and shit. So he's on the telephone. So I finally said to the guy, I said, do you know Mike Marino? So he looked at me like, why is he asking me that question? And I said, Mike Marino, the comedian. He said, yeah, I know who he is. Why are you asking me? Why do you asking me, do I know Mike Marino? I said, no, hold up. I said, he's a friend of mine. I said, no. I said, me and Mike go way back. I said, I did the t-shirts for him. And don't get me wrong, it's not like me and Mike Marino hang out, but he was there with my big birthday back in the day, and I made a lot of t-shirts for Mike and business cards and stuff. So in that sense, I know the guy. But he looked exactly like Mike. He was like, yeah, he said, I'm a friend of Mike Marino. Then he said, so me and him was just kind of talking a quick minute. He started laughing, and then he said as he was leaving the store, he said, yeah, he said, Mike is funny, but there's a comedian funny to Mike. I said, who's that? He said the guy's name, but I didn't hear him. I said there's no comedian funnier than Mike Marino. And he just started laughing and shit. Cause see, the reason why he's laughing, cause see, we know Mike, and that's Mike's personality. That's how Mike is and shit. So it is like that. Like, it's just a funny world you live in, cause everything's so sad. Even like guys I really went to school with, like guys I grew up with. Some of them guys we don't even talk no more. These were like neighborhood friends, and you never think you're gonna lose your neighborhood friends. But the world is so problematic. It's just that way. But anyway. So, what you guys got to know about the mob killing, I told you guys you got to learn etymology. You got Ma, the creator of all things. Now, this is why if you go to India, they say Ma. You can go on YouTube right now and just look at any Hindu videos, Hindu goddess videos, Hindu god, they say Ma. Or you might even put Ma goddess. It'll say Ma goddess India, something like that. You're going to see it. So, what we do, we tend to separate the word. I'm telling you, don't separate the word. Everything. That's why Matrix is Ma. It's always going to be Ma. Mafia. And then for mother, Mo. Moon, mother, mob, M-O. This is all Ma. Whether you want to believe it or not. When you read the Gnostics, you see little baby Jesus on Mother Mary's lap. And all the bad creatures come in that cave. And so the people are terrified that all these evil creatures are coming in. And that's when they found out Jesus, the little baby, could walk. He jumped off Mary's lap, and they found out he could talk. He actually went up to those animals, and whatever they were, because they were his creation, whether you like it or not. But he tells you, Isaiah chapter 45, verse 6 or 7, I create the darkness, I create the light. I create the good, I create the evil. So it all has its purpose from the creator's viewpoint. And even your Bible tells you that the dragons and everything will bless God. Even in the book of Acts, I think it's the book of Acts, the 2 Philippians chapter 4, they say every knee is going to bow on that particular moment in time. So, what I'm trying to tell you guys is this guy was killed on the 13th. And that's another number of that divine feminine. If you were to look at the 13th sun out here on YouTube, that's what he says, 13 wisdom, 13 love, 13 knowledge. You see them serpent eyes. And then he says some other stuff. All right. That's the delivery guy. He just was early. All right. So it was funny. So I'm glad I ain't pull it. I'm glad I forgot that shirt was there. Cause had I pulled my thing up, my uniform, and seen the shirt, the T-shirt I had on a Mike Marino, that guy would have been looking at me like, this guy got to be like working with the feds or some shit. He would have knew it just like, this guy, he's got to be trying to. That would have been some weird ass shit. That's funny. Yeah, but that happened like right before the other dude got killed and shit. And you know, a lot of his comedy deals with shit like that. Mike Marino's comedy, because he's straight up Jersey dude. My birthday would have sucked if it wasn't for Mike Marino. This was a big birthday party. Even the day we got inside that comedy club. The comedy club is no longer there. They tore it down or whatever. This is years ago. But even me getting up in there that night was kind of like a gift from God, because I wanted to be there, but there's a lot of politics with that place. And fortunately, they sent the tickets through my mother, because I was asking for them, they wouldn't send them to me and shit, but they sent them through her, so we still got up in there. All right, just give me a moment. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is, I'm trying to show you the etymology, even the oath that you got to take to be in the mob or mafia. It's very similar to Freemasonry and a lot of stuff y'all don't know about Catholic orders and stuff like that, like secret shit. So, and if you really know the history of the mob, especially, a lot of them were very loyal to the Catholic Church, extremely loyal. So that's why I told you, like, a lot of people stay in fantasy land and they don't know how to deal with reality. But I try to teach people reality, especially in your personal life. The more you deal with reality, that you're going to make better decisions. I just had a person that contacted me, and they, based on their belief, they really separated their family. To the family won't even talk to them and stuff like that. And instead of them being more interested in the family, they're more interested in this person who didn't do nothing for them at all. Never stood up for them, whatever. So I basically try to tell that person, you have to learn self-love first, because first you got to learn self-love, and then you got to find somebody who's going to love you. You don't chase people who are not interested. Even the whole twin flame shit. You can get in trouble with the police. Oh, this person's stalking me. Oh no, well, this is my twin flame. I know we're going to be together. Yeah, maybe, but not right now. You know, not right now. So you need to get on with your life, because it's not happening. So what I want to do in the video, of course, it is the full moon video. I want to explain it first from the experts, and then we'll go into the charts. And y'all should be looking at the two charts right now. I guess y'all can hit a helicopter. So I'm just getting closing up a few browsers. All right. Alright, so again, the chart on the left is labeled. It's your full moon chart. And I believe, let me double check. I just have to make sure of everything. Yep, it's 3/20th 2019. And they're saying it's the same day as spring. Spring starts March 20th, 2019, and ends June 21st, 2019. So that should tell you. That's why I'm trying to tell you. This is all. His death definitely meant something. That mob hit. And it could mean anything. I'm definitely sensing finances, but also as above, so below. Because you got to understand, a mob boss, believe it or not, he represents Ma. How many of y'all know the gangster named a woman named Ma Barker? Back in the day, Ma Barker. So y'all got to know, you got to know this stuff. And you think it doesn't matter. What does it got to do? It got everything to do with you. I recently went to my bank. It was closed for no apparent reason. Still don't know why that bank was closed. It was a horrible week. Everything was horrible. Ma was driving me crazy. Not the creator Ma. Although the creator Ma is behind everything anyway. But the earthy Ma. Driving me freaking crazy. Destroyed my schedule. Destroyed the phone system. Destroyed everything. Welcome home. Welcome home to hell. Then I'm trying to get these bills paid. So I'm up early in the morning. When I could have stayed home, didn't have to work. I called up to find out. They said, no, you're not on the schedule today. I was so happy. I said, well, let me just run to the bank real quick. Should have been like a 20-minute episode. That turned into a living hell. Bank's closed. No apparent reason why. No reason given. Jump in my car, go 3 or 4 miles up the highway to the same name bank, but a different location. And now one's closed. They'll never know why. So that fucked everything up. And then just as fast, I'm starting to get back on my feet. You got people coming here that were just here. Then they're back again. So, like I said, it's just getting out of hand. Like a lot of these people, I talk about them on my other channel. Because a lot of people, they just want to run. And they don't want to do what they should. Like, they don't want to clean their houses. A lot of them don't even clean themselves. But they just want to run. Every time there's an event, they want to be there. So, it's one of them things. So, that's why I said it's difficult to move forward. Because there's always something trying to pull you back into a bunch of garbage. And like the mob guy said on Godfather, just when you think you got out, they pull you back in. But that's part of life too. That's why I said to understand all this, you have to understand Isaiah 45 verse 6 to 7. I create the darkness, I create the light. I create the good, I create the evil. So everything has a place. And when you realize that, you have to learn how to breathe and let go. Let go and let God, or let spirit, whatever you believe. All right. So that was my little monologue to start this off. So the first thing we're going to do is I do some information on this full moon. Another 0 degree. We've been having full moons in 0 degrees. Now this is 0 degrees Libra. So look at that on the chart. Look at the chart on the left. You see Libra and you see the moon. 0 degrees and 10. Now that's a good thing. 10 is a good thing because that's the Wheel of Fortune card, which is Jupiter. And even at 25 degrees is a soulmate. A lot of people don't think Pallas is a soulmate asteroid, but it is. It's usually showing a more mature soulmate. Now, if you look at her Libra. There's her vertex cross. Now, I'm going to try to explain something. I really hope she hears this, that I'm about to say this. But this is important to everybody. Because when you approach your horoscope or astrology with a technical frame of mind, you're going to be disappointed. Because a lot of this stuff is going to be spirit. A lot of this stuff is going to be in different realms that you don't understand. Like me and my twin soul have an excellent relationship outside of her human body. Excellent relationship. But the woman who embodies my twin soul, she's got issues upon issues upon issues. Like, they don't stop. And that's why I said I come from a background of crazy ass people. And I'm not going to let my whole life be dictated by a bunch of nut jobs. It's not happening. So it is what it is. You do the best you can, but there's nothing you can do for somebody who just F's everything up. Because no matter how hard you try to make it a certain way, they're going to take it right back down. But like I said, there's a reason for everything. And the more you understand even how a electrical circuit works, it has to be drama or movement. And then if you break the word drama down, what do you get? Draw to ma. And that's what current does. Current flows from one polarity to another. Draw to ma. Drama. Now, does that mean you keep putting up with it? I mean, you help out where you can, but you also have a right to get on with your life as well. Because otherwise, your whole life is going to be somebody else's. So there's nothing wrong with saying no or distancing yourself from people that are known to always cause trouble. You don't have to see them all the time. Just like them coming here for the most silliest reasons. You don't have to be here all the time. Now they want to bring dogs, 3 dogs. Like if you're not busy enough, now you gotta be worrying about somebody else's dogs and stuff. So the dog's messing up the house, you gotta clean the shit. Cause ain't nobody else doing no cleaning. Don't let none of these people fool you. Ain't nobody else doing no cleaning but me. So like you don't have enough. So that's so the same people that were driving you freaking crazy 40 years ago are still finding a way just when you think you get out, they're trying to pull you back in. And now it's more of them because now they got kids with them. So we're going to be looking at this, how this affects, but right now I just want to look at primarily number 25 because Palace is at 25. So give me a moment because I'm pulling that information up. All right, let me just look. I want to look at one more website for this number. All right, let's see. Nope. All right, let's just do this. 25, introspective, spiritual, team-oriented, curious. Now, the reason why, like I said, if you were listening, and I know sometimes it can be difficult, but you really have to listen. You have to make yourself listen no matter what. Because of the simple fact the theme has been more spiritual, more spiritual, more spiritual. That number 25 is going to be introspective, spiritual, team-oriented, searching for knowledge and wisdom. And it's going to break down number 7. Number 7 is a mystical number, also a spiritual number. Now, if we get to any 7 degrees, I'll take it a little further. But we're not dealing with 7 degree right now. We're dealing with the number 7. If it was 7 degrees, I would tell you about the Chariot card, which is about things coming together, and it's Cancer energy. But right now, we're just talking about the number 25. That can be broken down to number 7. So it's wisdom, perception. So that's how the soulmate will be helping. Oh, so I didn't finish. So a lot of times, like you'll be studying your horoscope. Like mine said, today you'll find love. Now, if I went out looking for love or whatever, sometimes you'll mess it up because you be too eager and you push the person away. So that's why I learned you have to let whatever's going to happen naturally. And if it's meant to be, nobody can stop it. But if it's a whole lot of problems, it must not be meant to be, because it wouldn't be that difficult. And I had to go back to basic understanding, because sometimes we get pushed into all this twin flame propaganda. Oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen this year. Venus is entering Libra, and that means it doesn't necessarily mean that. You see it over and over. It could mean that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. So sometimes love does come your way. Like if you work in customer service, you might have some chemistry with a customer that comes in. Now, that doesn't mean you guys go, wow, we got chemistry, let's go out. Nah. Maybe the customer was gravitated to you for some strange reason, and they listened to you when you were talking, but maybe your supervisor tried to jump in a conversation to try to get the customer to do some other stuff, and they immediately were like, nah, I ain't interested. But when you were talking, they listened to like almost every word you said, even if you messed up. See, that's the energy. That's the energy. Or you'll just see people in strange situations. But it doesn't have to be full-blown love. But it doesn't mean opportunities or whatever. Like they were saying, oh, this is your day. People are going to listen to you and blah, blah, blah. And for the most part, that did happen. But it's not always love. And then sometimes people are just not ready for love. Because love ain't coming nowhere near you if you're not ready for it. Because it may try, but you won't be ready. Like I said, some females may think, oh, it's just natural to see the female say, show me, or, I'm going to play hard to get, but you got to show me you're really interested. But if you've already done all that and whatever, you don't want to do it. So until you're ready to do that, you're going to you might find yourself in attraction situations, but it doesn't grow because you're not willing to play that game. But that game is necessary with a lot of people. You might find a few females that don't play it, but some do. Now, why am I talking about all this? Because we're in Libra. 0 degrees Libra. 0 degrees means new beginning. That's the Fool card. Now, it's going to be new partnership, or with either lover, your business, your employer. Some type of new coming together is occurring. Like even me, yesterday, which is a great day, where whatever it was. But also the sun is brighter, and things that people may not have noticed. Now they just notice more because people are just more alert when the sun is out. But I know I was way more talkative to the customers yesterday and stuff because I didn't work the 3 days because I was killing myself and I'm trying to fall back. But as much as I'm trying to fall back, then you have more and more people still trying to put more and more stuff on you, even with the dogs. So that's why I said, you got to know when to draw the line. And see, when somebody's older and retired, they can do all that stuff. Or somebody can use them, say, okay, let so-and-so do it. Oh, we want to go out of town, she can watch the kids. But when you're still working a job and all that, you can't do stuff like that. So that's why you have to stand up for yourself. So like I said, 0 degrees is something new happening. And we'll probably learn more about it. But I was very interested in number 25. So theoretically speaking, it'll be somebody in your life that's helping you be more spiritual. And if you hear me talking, that's what I'm basically trying to say. There's lately been a strong attempt to interfere one way or another. Now, some of those attempts may have been to make me drop down. Because normally I work for my desktop, but I also work for retail 3 days a week. Well, I did, but it just got too much. Because like I said, that person came home and it was like a living hell. But I've known this person my whole life, so I know how it can be. Like from the moment, almost literally from the moment they walked in the door, all hell broke loose. Like it was an attack. Phone system, you name it, they fucked up everything. And see, I was smart. A lot of people don't like me, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you're dirty and disgusting, at some point I'm gonna say it. Especially if you're calling me out. How dare you put my name in my mouth, in your mouth, and you're like a filthy, disgusting person. That's a fact. Oh, you shouldn't say that, but they shouldn't say this stuff either. But they get away with saying it for whatever reason. So I'm sitting here because I'm a fighter, and I came up through extreme violence and extreme crazy people. Some of them are still alive today. So that's how you fight. Now, in order for me to keep my job, because my boss is sick of hearing stories. But the reason why there's always a story is because if you look on my natal chart, God likes me here, the spiritual realm, all the time. But like I said, sometimes you got to make sure bills are paid, which means you got to go daytime as well. So what happens is if God wants, it's like battle, it's like the book of Jonah. Jonah didn't want to do the spiritual stuff because he just didn't trust God, basically. If you read the book. Now, why didn't Jonah trust God? Because Jonah said you have a reputation of saying you're gonna judge people and do all this stuff to people, but then you don't do it. So Jonah didn't want nothing to do with God. See, that was a partnership, but Jonah didn't want it. So sometimes it's just like that. You're just trying to get bills paid. You're not trying to just sit somewhere, you know. Like when you see people just chanting all day long, like, why don't you get up and do something? I mean, I understand that chanting and all the stuff people do, but why don't you get up and do something yourself? So, but the spirit is like, yeah, he should stay there. He should stay there. I got him. Don't worry about it. You have to have faith. So it's a fight that you go through. So that's what all this is, but you have to be careful because you don't always know the real reason why all this stuff keeps happening. Even like I said, when I first started this job, same thing. Same people that are coming now, but now it's more of them. They came as soon as I started. First week, here they, like I said, these people have been fucking my life up since I've known them. First time trying to start this job, make a good impression, and they're coming way out of town for some event that they really don't have to be at. Because this is not blood relatives. This is none of that. This is like a vague knowing. Like somebody you vaguely know. And even the adult didn't want to come. That did all the driving. Even they would complain, I don't know why we're coming. But you still came. Now they're coming again. And keep in mind, I haven't even been working at this place less than a full year. I got like a couple more months before my year anniversary. So you don't need to see these people for these most frivolous reasons, but it's just to like, whatever. Mess up, keep messing your shit up so you can't get your shit together. And these are the same people been lying on me my whole life. So that's why I said you try to move on and take a higher road, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to go right back down and remind them I can be just as crazy as you are, because that's all they understand. All right. So with this 0 degree in Libra, that's what I'm trying to tell you about this whole business stuff, partnership. In the book of Jonah, God wanted to partner with Jonah. Jonah, I'm going to play God, and I'm going to send you to tell the people. Now, when God partnered with Moses, he said, Moses, I'm going to make you a god to Pharaoh, and I'm going to make your brother Aaron your prophet. So this is in the Bible. It has another partnership God tried to form. And like I said, Jonah did not want no part of it. And essentially, he finally was forced to go to Nineveh. He prophesied to the people. They repented. And then God showed mercy. And that's how the book of Jonah ended. With Jonah telling God, this is why I wanted nothing to do with you. And I wanted nothing to do with this assignment. Because I knew you were not going to kill all those people. And then God is saying, at the end of it, God is saying, but isn't mercy beautiful? Isn't mercy and grace beautiful that I was able to spare all these people because they repented? So it kind of ended on a good note, but I kind of like, I've been doing this for a long time. I can understand Job's point. I can understand Jonah's point. Because there's too much that gets invested, and then comes the other side. But that's the whole thing I'm telling you about the circuit. It's yin and yang. And that's why you got to realize how much you can do and how much you can't do. Because look at this. Aaron Hernandez. He waited until they said not guilty of murder. That's all he wanted to hear. Once they said not guilty of murder, he went back to his jail cell and committed suicide. Now, guess what? They've reversed that decision. Now he is guilty of murder. So now, was his suicide in vain? Good question, right? But any suicide is in vain. Because I tend to believe it's never as bad as killing yourself. But sometimes we don't weigh all possible options. And you don't know every scenario. I really wouldn't know. So, in the first house, 0 degree Libra, you're being called into business agreements, relationships, contracts, open enemies. That's why you hear me talking about all this stuff. But people say, why is he talking about it? Because it has to do with what we're talking about. Open enemies, social issues, justice, and karma. The number 25 in the palace is saying, you know what, we need to be more spiritual. And it can also mean the law. So it could be God's law. It could be the law of the government. All this is being brought into play. And that can be scary because it's almost implying if you're worthy of a judgment, it may happen. See, this might not be the time period to do something that could get you in trouble with the law. But it could also be the spiritual law of God. "25 is intellectual, sensual, complex, but logical. These people can be good in social interactions, but they also spend a lot of time alone because they like to analyze, research. They like philosophy, psychology, metaphysics, spirituality, alternate forms of science. They can express themselves artistically or creatively. Artistically or creatively. This person can also be emotional and spiritual. And they have a talent for looking into people's souls. But what happens with number 25s is sometimes they get too caught up on their own analytical thoughts and they don't deal with, say, the reality of human frailty or whatever. Stuff like that. Keep in mind, all this is going on in the 12th house of endings, judgment, karma. And this has to do with building. So this could be legal issues for some people. Spiritual issues for others, the church or even like the Catholic Church, any church. And 25 will always be a big number with their Messiah. That's their biggest holiday, is the 25th of the month. And you got to understand we're dealing with like 21st a lot. March 20th, spring. June 21st, summer. So they're definitely looking at the spiritual. So you really want to know Moon in the 12th house. And I'm just going the way I feel led to go. The 12th house can be a lot of secrets, a lot of mysteries. All right. I'm seeing something that looks pretty good. Yeah, now this is 8th and 12th house. I recommend her. She's one of the best online. She wrote this. Now listen to this. Okay, well, she wrote this January 15th at 7:43, but she came back at 8:12 and updated it. So this is 8 and 12 houses.com. Moon in the 12th house. Because this will have everything to do with Libras, the 7th house, and relationships. So if you're thinking about your natal chart, wherever Libra is on your chart or your 7th house, and this person who requested this, it's the same place. Her Libra is her 7th house. So that's especially what it's dealing with. But it may also deal with your Neptune energy as well as your Pisces energy. See, it is all about spirituality, just like I said. When the moon is in the 12th house, you are a very spiritual nature. So let's just say in the past, before 2019 and 2018, you was about that money. You know, definitely material things, financial things took prominence in your life. You might have had a sugar mama, a sugar daddy, whatever, but it's about that money. But now the universe is saying, okay, we're getting closer and closer to this Aquarian period where you can't just be selfish. You have to really start to think about spirituality and the world around you. So now the universe is going out of its way to begin to push. So Moon in the 12th house, intuition is very strong. And you have the ability to read other people's emotions and their soul. And that's your gift. You keep your emotional nature secret and hidden from others. So they say you may even hide your own true emotions from yourself. So I would make it a goal, because this is your 12th house. You're supposed to be bringing all that out so you can deal with it. So if you're still repressing in the 12th house, that's not why you're there. You're actually in the 12th house to bring that stuff out and deal with it. So this person does need time alone. So I hope you guys are listening. So if you have any type of stuff I said, 7th house stuff, partnerships, business, relationship, whatever it is, they're strongly suggesting you find time alone. And that's why I try to tell you. But when they keep sending people constantly, it's hard to have time alone. Because then you'll have a situation come up where, could you help us with this? No. And if you say no, then all hell's going to break loose. but they've already knocked you far off schedule, and now you're going to use the weekend to get caught up, and then they popping up again, which I do definitely plan on getting caught up this weekend. But it's just more and more of a bull. So what I do is give application to what you're reading. Otherwise, it's just me talking, and I'm not about that. Like, that's why I hated church and all that. I'm never the type to just sit there and just listen. I always, how am I going to use this? And I'm always standing up doing something to stay very active, because I don't want to be in a fantasy world. And in the 12th house, it is, because you have Neptune ruling Pisces, your 12th house, and that's all about fantasy. So you have to be careful. So they're encouraging this person with Moon in the 12th house to spend some alone time, listen to soothing music, have beautiful art around you. Now, it's funny they say have beautiful art around you, because they don't know that Libra's there. They just know Moon in the 12th house. But that would be Libra or Venus, beautiful art. And maybe to some degree Taurus. So they're telling this person to really listen to music. They say this type of person might be hard on themselves and really doesn't open up to the world. So this person has got to learn how to express their emotions through writing, journaling, recording dreams. So this person is going to be sensitive. They may have the number 11 or the number 2 in their life. And this person needs peace and harmony in the home and work environment. So they're telling this person, don't use medication for these feelings you're having. They're telling you to write more, talk about them if you can, find somebody you could talk to about them. Share your worries with close friends and or professionals. But because this person is an empath, a lot of the pain they feel ain't even their pain. They're tuning into somebody else's pain. And this type of person attracts people who have pain and problems. So that might be coming into your life or back into your life. Because remember, this is about the 7th house relationships. And I think anybody that knows me, that's my next stop. I'm going right across to see what's going on in the 7th house. And this person may have a martyr complex. In other words, they'll attract a drama queen to them. I'm speaking because I'm a male. They'll attract a drama queen to them. And then when the drama queen does exactly what they knew was coming, now they want to act like, oh, I'm a victim. Oh, I'm a martyr. Oh, but you attracted. They should have told that person no. I didn't get to look at my horoscopes today, but one thing is said. This is before I knew those people were coming tomorrow. It said don't allow your loved ones to drain you out. So you're already being warned. I mean, there'll be a time and place for everything, because you should make time for these people, but it's just going to be too much. So that's what they mean by empath. You can feel other people's emotions. They said you could even tap into other people's souls. And you can absorb the energy within yourself. But be careful, because the 12th house is the house of undoing. This is where you go in trying to help other people and you screw yourself. And most of those people are just going to suck your energy out and leave you for dead. That's why I try to tell people that the 12th house does not mean that you just allow people to run over top of you. You help out where you can, but the best help you can give anybody is to teach them how to do it themselves instead of sucking into you. Because otherwise you'll be burnt out and that person's still going to be going on their merry way. So this person might be in a helping profession, caring for the sick, the elderly, disabled, or some type of working with children. This person is going to be a born intuitive, perceptive, and compassionate, and they have psychic abilities. So all this stuff is going to be going on, just so y'all know. They say, where is it going to be going on? Where's your 12th house? Maybe there. Pisces, Neptune, wherever your Neptune is, right there. Wherever Pisces is on your natal chart, right there. Libra, relationships, right there. Whatever Libra stands for. Court, legal matters, business contracts, agreements. The 7th house, right there. Now, we're going to be looking at mommy again. They've been telling me it's going to be mommy issues, and so far, that's the way it's been going on. Terry Nassan told me that. That's right before she walked through that door, and all hell broke loose. Now, they're talking about the relationship with your mother was complex. So, again, it's going to continue. Now, it's going to continue with this, and it's going to, like, keep in mind, it's less than 7 days. So, this stuff could be going on right now. The relationship you had with your mother was complex. You might have felt as if you were the parent and your mother was the child. Ha ha. No, but you got to give my mother credit. She's still alive because of that. That's why sometimes the childish behavior is not good, but sometimes it is good if a person's still alive. If a person can still travel all around the world and they're older, you got to give them credit for that. That's why I've learned, this is what I've learned to do. Not to be so black versus white. Like, as far as black or white, I try to, understand both sides, but I just need my space. And the reason why I get upset, because it's always been a agenda of negative energy to somehow end up in my space. Now, here where I live, when we were younger, my older sister used to throw parties all the time. Here. Never had a problem. One day, I threw what's called a set, because I didn't like parties. Because I don't want you in my house if I don't like you. So I had a set. That's when just people you know. Some males, some females just sitting around. This is when I was a young dude. Smoking weed, drinking beer. Now I'm just chilling out, All of a sudden, I get a phone call. Yo, turn the music down. So it's this dude across the street. He's not even close to my house, really. This guy named Danny. And I'm like, why is Danny calling over here telling me to turn the music down? This dude ain't never called and tell my sister to turn the music down. It's not even that loud. So he's starting to get intimidating, like, you better turn the music down. Now, first off, how did Danny know it was me? Like, this was some crazy shit. Like, is Danny psychic? Like, how the hell did he know it's me? How, it could be sure. Why are you calling me, like, talking crazy? So I'm trying to, I'm older now, senior year in high school. I'm trying to be a badass. So I don't really want to turn the music down. And I'm talking crazy, but the door is open, and this guy's sitting on his porch, and he hears everything I say. So now I got an ass kicking coming. So there's no logical reason why that went down that way, but nothing happens by coincidence. So what I'm trying to tell anybody is this is the type of time you're going into right now. So a lot of stuff they're saying about the mother issues but that's normal. Like we always have to put things in perspective, because there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, but that's life. It's always going to be yin and yang. That's why you could always whine about, oh, my sister did this to me. My sister lied on me, and she knew my father was going to beat the crap out of me, and she lied anyway just to watch me get beat up, and she kept doing it. But there's going to be good and bad. There's probably a lot of good things she did too. Of course, you ain't going to forget those, because that's brutal beatdowns. But you don't want to get stuck on the woe is me either. Because a lot of that will go on in the 12th house where you're throwing a pity party for yourself. And the bottom line is life is going to go on whether you're here or not. Like I said, as powerful as my older sister was, unfortunately, her time came. And I'm sure a lot of her actions may have helped speed up that time. But her time came. So life goes on even after you're gone. And that's why you don't want to get too dramatical. And that's why I try to tell people, some people think they're going to change the world. Usually you're not. And even if you do change the world, as soon as you're out of here, they're going to change it back. That's why I said Aaron Hernandez, he waited until they gave the plea and they said not guilty for murder. Once he got that plea, he thought it was okay to kill himself. Well, they said not guilty for murder. I don't want to be here no more. I'm not going to rot behind jail. I'm out of here. Now, sometime after they said not guilty, now they're flipping and saying guilty. So he should have just dealt with it. Because his main reason for killing himself was the not guilty plea. Now they're talking about the spiritual mother. Well, because this is what they're saying. This is what they're saying. This is what the full moon, 0 degrees, or this is what they're saying about the moon in the 12th house. And that's what it is. So it's all about the mother. So they're talking about she may have taught you the spiritual stuff, which she kind of did. But my father was there too. And she's talking about, they're saying that this caused an emotional wound. I don't know why. Let's see if they explain why that caused an emotional wound. So they're saying because you're so busy looking out for my dukes, you can't even take care of your own emotional needs. So that's what they mean by emotional wound. So they're saying this person will be highly complex. But now if y'all were listening, now let me go, I told you. See how I started this off? That's why I said, instead of attacking me, oh, I don't like, why is he talking about that? Why is he doing it that way? Blah, blah, blah. You should learn to listen. Because I guarantee if you learn the art of listening, you're going to still learn. There's a reason why I do what I do. And I'm trying to tell people about spirit. That's why I said too many people worry about the physical, but there's a spiritual world going on in your behalf too. That's why I said there is no such thing as twin flame separation. That's some bullshit in third dimensional. That you can never be separated from your twin. Ever. It's you. It's your soul. How can you be separated from your soul? So that you're being trapped in a third dimensional bull. And that's why we're trying to tell people. They get so obsessed with it that even Angeline said, nobody's going to want somebody that's obsessed with them. And I realized everything I was saying when I first got pulled into this whole metaphysical thing with twin flames. But I thought I didn't know. You know? And everything I was saying back then proved to be true. And that's why now I'm very unapologetic about how I teach. But here's the deal. If you're interested in anybody who's really not interested in connecting with you, or they're trying to bring all this drama and hell into your life, you probably do better to move on. Because why destroy your life? Because that person's gonna go on. Like I said, they're not gonna wait for you. They're gonna be having sex with other people. Like they're just fucking you over. And that's what I mean about this stuff going down now. These people that just keep finding a reason to come back. The most frivolous reasons in the world. But like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. Like long before all this metaphysical stuff, I was a spiritual person. And then we just called it the devil. Like what y'all call twin flame and stuff like that, we would call that temptation. But you see it, that they're just going out of their way to do anything to just keep coming around. Like, why don't you just get on with your own life? Why you don't live in Jersey? Why are you always here? Or why don't you move back to Jersey if you're going to be here like all the freaking time? And then even if you're not here, you got this person falling out with these fake whatever they're going through. And I still got to be talking to you all the time, arguing back and forth with you. It's like I feel like we're still back 40 years ago. So that's what this whole thing is about in the 12th house. If you're listening to what I'm reading, all this centers with who I call Imam Kweli. Imam Kweli is the moon in Cancer in the 4th house. And it doesn't have to be the moon, but I just say the moon because the moon is connected to the mother and it represents the divine feminine. But Imam Kweli is whoever raised you as a mother when you were younger, and that person will be in your subconscious mind forever. The whole time you're here in the flesh. So what they're trying to tell you about this 0 degree or this moon in this full, well, moon in the 12th house is, it's going to be all kind of mother issues and all kind of stuff going on. And that's why you might blame her personally, but she's only doing what the universe has sent her to do. And then if you're dealing with mother, you're dealing with the Cancer energy. Like when you're dealing with the moon rules Cancer, so it is going to be family concerns and family going to keep popping up. And you honestly say to yourself, like, why the hell don't y'all get on with your lives and shit? Like you really do. Like y'all might be different than me, but see, my family was highly dysfunctional, and they were anti me. Like they've lied on me forever. Like the book of Genesis with Joseph. Like I'm like the modern day Joseph. So I don't see all that togetherness where you're always seeing them every weekend and you're always on the phone talking to somebody. Like I don't want that. Like even if I had a brother, I wouldn't be close to my brother. He would learn. Like if I could beat him, I would beat him up just so you leave me alone. Like I like my space. Like you don't have to be in my face all the fucking time. What about your own life? Why are you contacting me all the time? Get your own life. All that needy stuff, like I'm not into that shit, man. Like for real. Like even if you're a female, if you got a guy paying for your shit, have your own money too. Because what happens if he starts having somebody else, or if he just gets tired of you, or you guys have problems? Never put yourself in a situation where you're what we call ass out. Ass out is when you know you got to beg somebody to stay here, let me stay with you, or you're sleeping in your car. Or try never put yourself in that situation. And it's not easy because like I said, I got friends that had to do that. Like I used to hang out with like people from Greece. They were white guys, but they were from Greece. But if you know the history between a lot of people from Greece, they have like what we call melanin. And that was when the people of color came through Europe. Y'all can read about Hannibal, when Hannibal came through Europe. You could also read about the Moors in Europe. So there's a lot of people, like, let me give you an example. I used to hang out with this dude named, we called him C-Mac. Now, C-Mac hang out with this big Irish dude. So one time it was me, C-Mac, the big Irish dude, and another black guy sitting at this bar. So they were playing the jukebox. Now, the black guy was playing like rock music, and the Irish guy was mad because he wanted to hear soul music, but he wanted to hear soul music because he has black or melanin in his body from what took place when the Moors came through Europe or whatever. And then the black guy, why he wanted to play rock and roll, I have no idea. I listen to all music too. But it was just kind of funny to see a big old, what we would call a white guy, big old Irish dude getting mad because the black guy wouldn't play soul music. So there's going to be mother issues anyway. So that's why I try to tell people, you have to get to the point where you don't let Daimon Coeli really mess you up. Because I'm trying to tell you, this is some type of mother relationship stuff. It could also have to do with the law. And some of you might just be always taking care of your mom, that you have no time for a relationship. See, these are all the things this is looking at right now. And then Palace is also trying to make more spiritual. So they say this type of person will be extremely loyal to their mother no matter what. And they say you benefit from your mother. You may also have an inheritance coming from your mother, whether it be physical or spiritual, material or physical or spiritual. So they're kind of telling you that this Libra moon is all about the mother. Well, then no, we had to say Mayat. I started talking about the mob and mafia and stuff like that. But now we got to talk about Mayat. Mayat is like the Holy Spirit of Isis. And you see Mayat in Egyptian hieroglyphics flying around with her wings. So, and she dealt with law again, the law. So I keep telling you, the law will be coming into question. And even people that call themselves Christians or Hebrews, they may be talking about the law or dealing with the law, primarily the law of Moses. But you may also be talking about the law in Caesar's law, local government. And it doesn't even have to be local government. It could be bigger than local government. All right. So that was very interesting. And I hate to tell you this, but even they kept talking about the mother teaching you about spiritual. See that palace? It's supposed to be your twin soul or your soulmate, but I'm trying to tell you, sometimes it's energy. Sometimes your twin will connect to you through your mother. I've seen it over and over again. Over and over again. I could give you so many, and it took me a while before I could see it, but then I could tell. A lot of times my earthly mother was acting almost in sync with what my twin flame was doing at the job. And I remember this was like about a week ago. Because I was getting readings on YouTube that were saying, "Oh, your twin's ready to reunite. All you have to do is ask for her and she'll come," and all that. And I know that's true because I've seen that happen. But I don't want to ask for it. I don't want that. Not right now, anyway. And not because, like I said, it's a long story, but that was a living hell dealing with her. And so that's when my earthly mother was acting all weird and all that. And I know one time I came home and almost from the moment I got in the door, my mother was just up in my face. And I literally had to tell her, "Mom, back up. Like, back up. Like, you're way too close. This is getting weird. Back up." But then I realized what it was. It wasn't just her. That was the energy of my twin. Because my twin really wanted the union. Like, all the readings I was getting for Leo out here on YouTube was all about, oh, she wants to connect and she wants a second chance and blah, blah, blah. Y'all broads ain't driving me crazy. Oh! All right. So that was important because now we got the tone of what's going on. So it might actually be. That's what I was trying to tell you. See, that 25%, it could be your soulmate, but that's your mother too. Like if she's still alive, who's ever like a mother figure to you now, they're gonna try to help you be more spiritual. And like I said, my Dukes already did it because I had to reduce from 3 days of working at the job to 2. Because they really are trying to get me out of there. When I say they, the people that really run this universe, they're really trying to get me out of there and put me here full time, which I would definitely do. But like I said, I don't want to be sitting there waiting for bills to get paid. And it'll happen, but it's always some. Like I said, you would have to read it will be the you would have to read the Book of Jonah. All right, now from my other email, I was encouraged to write my Congressman Frank Pallone, who's helped me out on numerous occasions when people tried to bully me. Thank you, Mr. Pallone. But they told me to write him about Save the Internet. But now he's writing me at my other email. So I guess he's prepared to address the situation. So he says he supports the free and open internet, supported by net neutrality. Now keep in mind, when Frank Pallone first started helping me, that's when the Untouchables. See how we keep talking about the mob? Believe me, something's about to really be up. I'm telling y'all. Because I used to watch the Untouchables on Channel 9. Not the older one with Elliot Ness. I used to watch that one too. But there was a new one. His name was John Forsythe or something like that. He did an excellent job of Capone. I used to love to watch the Untouchables. Literally loved that show. And I always was a rapper. So I wrote a rap. And I said, I watch Channel 9 and I see Capone. And I said some other shit. I said I want to do something like Frank Pallone. I forget what I said I wanted to do. But Frank Pallone, he still got the power, but he had the power even back then. But he told the bank, he told the banks to back up. They was fucking with me. See, y'all gotta understand, like I'm a spiritual person, so wherever I go, it's like negative energy trying to fuck with me. And they was like just trying to fuck with me. So he wrote them a letter. He told them to back up. Ha ha ha. Ho, 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 ho. Thank you, God. Thank you, Mr. Pallone. So he's down for it, so that's good. So he's down with the net neutrality, free and open. So he let you know that it was President Trump. He let you know that it was President Trump's Federal Communication Commission chose to unravel net neutrality in 2017 and allow internet service providers to make their own rules. And he said that 86% of Americans oppose this, and 82% of Republicans. Small businesses, educators, millions of Americans rely on a free and open internet. So he said he introduced it. Thank you, Mr. Pallone. This is why I introduced the Save the Internet Act to reverse the disastrous repeal and restore the critical protections provided by net neutrality. You can watch the event where my colleagues and I unveiled the bill. So you can watch that if you want to. Then Mr. Pallone says, Representative Pallone of the 6th District, I want you to know that I will be fighting for a free and open internet in Congress. Thank you, Mr. Pallone. If you have a moment, please respond to this email. I will, Mr. Pallone. Or contact my office to share your thoughts on net neutrality. It is my job to represent you, and I want to make sure All right, so how can I respond? We're going to do this together, people. I know you're saying, well, why you got to do it now? Because you have to be more conscious of the world that goes on around you. That's why. Before we're back in Nazi camps. Or some of y'all never been in camps. I wasn't necessarily in a Nazi camp, but I damn sure got slavery through my blood. That's what he said. He said, so when he says, so he says he wants to hear from you. But see, I can't even do it. Even if I did, if I wanted to go to his website, I can't write him from his website no more because he doesn't represent my area no more. He used to, which is funny because we're both from Monmouth County, New Jersey. But I can't get the phone number. All right, so that's enough of that. That was New Jersey representative in the House of Congress, Frank Pallone, I believe, Jr. of the 6th District. Oh, that's what I said. I watch Channel 9 and I see Capone. No, I watch Channel 9 and I see Capone. I want more power than Frank Pallone. And the name of that song was called Mob Mentality. Because I had been bullied. What happened was I was in a religion. In the 1980s, I joined this religion, supposed to be the true religion. I was really young, and when you're young and naive, you make stupid mistakes because you don't know how corrupt the world is and how corrupt even churches, people. And when I say corrupt, corrupt is corrupt. Corrupt is somebody that shakes your hand, looks you in the eyes, and stabs you in the back. It doesn't have to be robbing you like money or lying to the police, or that's still corrupt. Corruption is corruption, bro. Especially when you call yourself a priest or a pastor or an elder, you're supposed to be at a higher standard. Like, you're not supposed to that. See, me, what you see is what you get. You might not like my tone. You might not like my language, but I'm not going to rob you. I'm not going to set you up. These guys do that shit every day. They're the real criminals, not me. You should be glad people like me stand up to these guys. The ones I'm talking about. And I'm glad I got people in office like Frank Pallone. And when I say I got, let me rephrase how I say that. I'm glad we have people in office like Frank Pallone that goes against them. I remember even Robert Menendez went against the banks. A lot of you guys might not know that. But I'm telling you, they came for me because I was fighting them. They came for me right before Obama got elected. And this is how God works. The moment Obama got elected, the first thing he did was attack the banks. So they had to leave me alone because they were trying to swallow me up because I was fighting by myself because I'm not afraid to fight. All right, give me a second. I'm going to call over there. They know me. I'm a friend. No, I'm not. I don't got it like that. I just want to see if they're going to give me an answer machine and what's going to happen. And then we'll get back to the read. You guys got to learn how to calm down, breathe. Worry about the world around you and not just yourself. It's very important we keep this internet going. If it wasn't for the internet, I would have died like in 98. I was like a dinosaur. I was dying until the internet came. I didn't even know how to use the internet until 98. It's ringing. Hi, this is Pastor Gary. I just wanted to leave a brief message for Frank Pallone's office. Wanted to thank him for the Save the Internet Act, and we did send something over. We signed something from consumers. I'm sure he received it, but he's in favor of it. So we just want to say thank you. Thank you. All right, now we'll get back. We'll get back to the read. See, it's because of acts like the Save the Internet Act that we're able to do this. This is why it's so important. So never look at life from how does this benefit you, because everything's connected. All right, so now we're going right to the 7th house. That's the 12th house. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now Taurus. See, and Taurus was recently in the 12th house. And as you see, wow. See Uranus is at 0 degrees. Remember, Taurus represents finances, the 2nd house. And Taurus represents the Pope, any priest, the Hierophant. And this is why like Taurus has been in the 7th house a lot lately, because the Taurus has been in the 12th house lately. You see a lot of priests are being exposed for pedophilia. Some of them are even going to jail. And they've gotten away with that for a long time. And we did study Mars in Taurus. I think it was with this person's last read. I do believe it was this person's last read, because they get a read for the new moon and the full moon as well, and any emergencies that come up. So the universe is still addressing corrupt pope, corrupt priest, pedophiles, stuff like that. Oh, and we see Mr. Pallone a lot because my mother's always at some event somewhere, and he's always there. One time he sent us some information, and I don't even know how he knew, but like that's when my sister was alive, and he knew it was 3 people in his house, and he had everybody's name on it. And we were going, like I was saying to my sister, how did he know you're here? Because you came here from Kentucky, so how did he know you're here and shit? And she is bugging out and shit. So why I love my state, because we're fighters and shit. We've been duking it out. They tell you the greatest battle, one of the greatest battles of the American Revolution was the Battle of Monmouth County, the Battle of Monmouth County. But it's more to that battle than. But we're fighters. We ain't no punks over here, babe. And there's a reason why I saw Mike Marino's family the same time that the guy got the hit went off. Because most of his comedy's on the mob. All right. So now you see what's going on. Now she has the same thing. Mars. And hers is 1 degree. So she has to watch. She has to watch 2 things. She has to watch people lying to her. But she also has to make sure she's not lying either. But notice how her Venus is right with her Mars. So for her, it's definitely going to be a relationship situation. But it's going to be mother undertones. Could be her mother or that person's mother. And it's just mother undertones. Because sometimes we act like mothers. It might be somebody at your job. But there's going to be a mother undertone wherever. That's why I say you guys got to learn how to think in the spirit. It's not going to be precise. That's why. Oh, when are me and my twin going to meet? Because you tell me when my twin is going to. You want it to be precise. It's just not going to be precise. It's just not. Everything is spirit. Every now and then something might happen on a chord. But a lot of times it's just spirit. And what I've learned is the more you heal, because for me, I would have to get away from loving to get things done. And that's how I was in a past life, though, too. Same thing. Moon sign Capricorn. That's a serious person. They want to get things done. They're about that business. But moon sign is more family, like this crap I'm talking about. They come in here some more. Like I'm tired of that. But see, I would be more like, oh, the family's coming, that would be great. But no, these are some horrible people. No, they did some really horrible stuff, man. And it don't stop. But I look out for them. I don't want y'all to think it's as bad as I make it. I do look out for my family, but it's just like they just get on your last nerve. So that's how I'm supposed to be. Moon sign, my second house Capricorn, North Node, so more family minded and more probably hanging out and stuff. But I do a little bit, but let's not get crazy. All right. So now I'm about to show you something that's really gonna blow your mind away. There's some Aquarius stuff going on with you. Now I don't know what you know about Aquarius, but you got some Aquarius stuff going on with you. Because if you look at the chart, Moon is in Aquarius at 23 degrees and 6. Let's do it again. If you look at the chart on the left, Venus is in Aquarius at 6 degrees. And that's the 4th house. I was going to say the 5th house. I was going to crack a joke. Because she may be seeing a woman. Especially if that was a Aquarius in the 5th house with Venus. Under these circumstances, that's what I would come to. You might even be fantasizing about a woman. Or some woman's fantasizing about you. Because look at the 5th house. Mercury. Same thing that's in her 1st house of love. See, her 1st house is love. Even got Juno there. So she might be going for a sugar mama. Because they keep talking about the mama. Nah, that's what I'm getting. No, listen, I did the same stuff for Donnell Whitmore, and I was 100% right. He was like, man, I don't know how you figured that stuff out. Because you see it. And see, people, like I did a chart. This guy lied for years. I said, this is what I'm saying. He would always act like he didn't know what I was talking about. He lied for years. And then I said, you know what? I'm not even going to do the natal chart this time. I'm doing numerology. So then I went in with numerology. And it still said the same thing. I said, dude, you're lying to me. I said, you got to be lying to me. And that is available on the channel. Free viewing. I just did that read not too long ago. It's not even a week old yet. But it's definitely public. He finally admitted that he's lying. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm seeing over here. Because that's what happens sometimes. Men may be a pain in the ass. And you're sick of a sugar daddy. So how about a sugar mama? Maybe. Or something like a sweet situation with a female. Because see, Aquarius doesn't care. So you're seeing that go on right now. And ironically, if you notice, Aquarius is in the 4th house. I told you the 4th house is Imun Coeli, or the mother. So it's definitely a sugar mama. Some type of stuff. Girlfriend. You already know. Like I said, at the end of the day, any form of nurturing is mother energy. Any form of nurturing is mother energy. And so let's just say it's a girlfriend. Oh, we just hang out. I have so much fun with them. I can get away. I can just, all my stress, when I'm with her, I have no stress. All my stress is going. Oh, we're just holding hands and all that. But that's even an initial start because you see all these zeros. 0 degrees is always initial starts. But it doesn't stop there. Now, if you look at her chart, you see the moon in Aquarius. And 3 is the Empress. So that's feminine energy. Because she's got 23 degrees and 3 minutes. But 3 is the Empress. That's Venus energy. Taking you back to this chart. Aquarius. And then number 6 is, again, Venus or the lover energy. Or Gemini energy. And Gemini and Aquarius have a lot in common. They're both about people and community. It's a community of brotherhood. They both don't like to go too deep. They both like love as long as they can have their freedom and you don't go too deep. And in a case like that, sometimes that's what it is. Because that could even be like the Gemini sister. You know, you're hanging out with a guy, a Gemini, and one thing leads to another. Next, you know, you and the sister's getting kind of cozy. See, a lot of times on a Columbo, he just had one mean intuition. He just get a hunch. And he would drive you crazy until he could finally get closure on his hunches. But he had to get closure. So this is the vibration I'm getting just looking at all of this. And it is the moon. And both of these are playing with Pisces. And Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is 12. And when you look at her, she's got that 12 right there on her Libra. And that's what we've been talking about. So it really is like a newer offer. If a sugar daddy can't get it done, why not try sugar mama? Now, sugar mama might not necessarily mean a female that's paying. She may be, she may not. But she's still giving you something. And that's what makes it sugar. Especially if it's sweet. If the hugs feel way better than a man, the holding hands feel way better than a man. You guys are going out, you're acting like young girls, laughing, goofing off. You know, you're not the whole burden of going out with a guy. It's like a stale. You know, you're with this guy, but it's almost like a stale. There's no woo. Like women will take off their shoes and spin around in the street. Like it's just a difference. And that's why women can be attracted to women. It's just they just have a higher sensitivity and sexuality. And if you notice, that's what they were saying about the moon in the 12th house. Knowing how to feel somebody more. Because that's really what women want. You got to feel me. You got to understand me. Like a man will say, listen, I love you. I'm going to provide for you. But they don't understand a woman doesn't. That's not the biggest thing. Even if she says, look, even if she says I want a man with a lot of money, that's all that matters to me. It's a whole lot of people that got that and still cheat. It's that when you can connect with somebody that understands you, that makes you feel complete. So that's the temptation I see going on here. All these 0 degrees. And then number 23. Now, when you see 16s, and 23 can be chaos too, but when you see 16s and Mars or any Pluto, that means it's like it could be a separation in a relationship with the guy or some type of breakup or whatever. See, that's what I told you. This guy that got killed, his name is Frank Cali. But see, who's Cali? That's why I tried. It's the Ma. Didn't I start off talking about Hindu and Ma, the goddess Ma? And his name is Cali. Cali is Ma. But see, Cali is really anti-male aggression, anti-male energy. And that's why she walks on top of men and kills them. And she dances over top of their corpses and then cuts their head off and makes pyramids. And Aquarius is all about that. And even when Mars was in Aquarius, that's what it was about. Women coming up, women taking over, women becoming stronger. So that's definitely the energy that's here. And like I said, people can say, "Oh, well, you're off on that read." Nah, you got to be honest about what you be thinking about, what you're fantasizing about. This is all Pisces, Neptune, Aquarius, or somebody might be thinking that about you, but it's there. So we were looking for number 23. Let's get there. 23, people that use their intellect, creativity, people skills. Writers, salespeople. People that they have good communication skills. Again, but that's what people like. They're persuasive. They can make you believe this is going to work. What difference does it make? Why do you want to be with some deadbeat or whatever? Or whatever it is. Because even the 12th house is the house of secrets. Could be something on the side. Could be. All I know is it's definitely there. 23 is interesting. Somebody that's interesting, witty, fun, witty. Like somebody you could go out with and you guys just had a great time. Where you've never had that much fun with a guy. And again, 2 and 3 can become 5, which is again love, Leo, the 5th house, fun. That's why I said if this was in the 5th house, I would know what it was. But it is. If it's number 23, it's still Leo energy. It's still the 5th house energy. They just doing it through numerology. I love it. 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 I am the Black Columbo. I stand down to nobody except for Lieutenant Columbo, who is one of my greatest inspirations. See, sensitivity is all female stuff. Creativity. Curious, quick thinking. Very expressive. And she's very inspirational to other people. But again, that's the 12th house or Pisces or Neptune energy. And that's what I keep trying to tell you. This is no lie. Like in 1998, that's when I first got on the computer. It was all about the internet. All about the internet. So I would meet people on the internet, all kind of crazy stuff. And I remember meeting this one female. And she was telling me how much she loved this guy and all this bullshit. And I'm much younger then, so I'm like a player. I'm like player A, 5-star, triple A. Like I'm player. Like I'm out there. I'll pull up. I used to say I pull females wherever I go. Pull them in church, pull them at work. Some shit I used to say. Pull them on the phone, pull them when I'm stoned. Those were the days. All right. So anyway, so I met this female, and she is telling me about this guy, She was waiting, he was hurting her, all that. He was just hurting her and whatever. So I was just talking to her. I was talking just anything. And then sure enough, she came all the way from a train and came here. She literally came here. And she's here with me for like a weekend. And that ain't the same person I'm talking about from 2001. The one that came here in 2001, that was a girlfriend. This one was just somebody I had just met in the chat room and shit. But that female came all the way here and shit. So what I'm trying to tell you is sometime either you need to hear something or somebody knows how to use the right words. But whatever happens, those words connect. And that's why people that have tried alternative relationships and stuff, that's how that happened. Because ultimately people just want to be loved. They don't want to be stressed out all the time. And that's how that happens. Because 23 also comes with optimism. And remember, 23 has a lot of Sagittarius energy too. I think so does 25. But 23 could also mean chaos. So that can mean you're having a chaotic relationship with a guy. Now this female is giving you an offer, or you're giving a female an offer. But it can also mean that sooner or later that relationship goes chaotic too. And this is why I don't like to rush these reads. And I like to do what I do. See, you guys don't understand how this stuff works. I do. It's like when you see a magician and he's conjuring up magic and shit, you have to send stuff out through the universe. through your vibrations, through talking and stuff, and it's sending out waves like ripples on a wave. It's like when you say the police sending out an SOS. I know I can't sing, but you throw that thing out there and it's going through waves and all that, and all of a sudden it comes back because you're conjuring up something. By me talking, it's sending ripples and stuff out into the universe that are being heard, being sent, and then people be getting to send stuff back. And then that's how I start to get the understanding that I got. So you got to remember, I'm Gemini. My ascendant is Gemini. My most active house is probably my third house. All this is about communications, but Gemini, Mercury, and Mercury I believe is in my third house. See, this is all, I keep telling y'all, Hermes, Thoth, Mercury. And this is the Magician card, 1 degree. And he's able to talk and get things done just by conjuring up stuff. So that's why I say when people stay at one level, it's hard to help them. Because you have to get to the level where you let the universe do what the universe is doing. All right. So that's what we see going on here. And remember, Uranus can also be your soulmate. Uranus will come into your life to change your viewpoint. What you were consciously aware of, Uranus will challenge it and change it. And that goes back to what I'm saying. Even if you never tried it before, or you tried it a long time ago, whatever case might, or you tried it off and on, whatever the case might be, but Uranus, all this 0 degree and all this stuff is bringing that offer to you. And even in Taurus, the 7th house, very sensuality. Because like out here when we were kids, what the older females used to do to the younger females, say, oh, let me do your hair. But that's what they would do. They would use the opportunity. Because there goes the sensuality, the touching, and the putting your hands in your hair, all that, the finessing. And it'll always lead to like a lesbian experience. That's kind of fun. That's the first time I think I said that word through this whole thing. They're going to come get me. Those people. No, I'm just joking. I love being me. See, you're listening to a dude that got shot at, and the whole time they shot, I was laughing and shit. A little crazy, you're crazy, but that's how you can live long, because you're not afraid to tell somebody to go fuck themselves. And still have a job after that. Well, maybe I didn't use the exact words, but darn sure told them off. All right. So that's what's going on here, for the most part. Just letting you know. This is all about the female coming back. In a powerful way. Look at, you think I'm wrong? Look at Jupiter, 23 degrees. And then 13 again is the feminine. And that's the nurturer, like I told you about the mama and Sagittarius. That's what most of this is about. It may be something else here, but that's primarily what it's about. All right, so we're going to read some of this. We're going to just go through this. So the full moon is aligned with the fixed star Markeb in the sails of the constellation of Argos, the ship. The closest aspect of the full moon is quincunx to Uranus. The tarot card is a 2 of swords, and the healing crystal is a mukite. And if you're into all that, you can go to Dark Star Astrology, full moon, March 2019. They said it. Well, it says the full moon brings out concepts that are ahead of its time or just too mystical for the average human to grasp. This is also extremely right brain deacon full moon. So it is about illumination, shine, and intuition. This is the vibration of the mystic, diplomat, and peacemaker rather than a warmonger. There seems to be a strong connection with the night sky and the ability to prophesy at this time. So they say in this particular moon, you will have the power to manifest magic, and I just got finished telling you that. They say because of this moon, you can feel aura, peace, and tranquility. Now, this is all the stuff I've been trying to tell you. That's what it's going to be about, feelings. We just had Mars in Aquarius not too long ago, and that's all about the female rising. Female rising and stand up for herself. Now you got all this stuff going on now sensitivity, and that's why I'm trying to tell you that's how shit just happens. And it could happen with men too. That was totally straight. But they're in a situation where you're sitting around or whatever, and you're feeling a certain way, and the guy's sitting with you. Like one time I worked this job, and I'll never forget. I worked for this electric company or something. And I was at the counter, but I was new. I was a new guy. And so it was one guy. Now I don't know, but I think both these guys were straight. But you never know nowadays. But one guy had on like a new pair of pants or a new shirt or something. So the other guy said, "Hey, that's a nice pair of pants" or something. And the other guy said, "Thanks for noticing it." So you gotta understand, I come from an era where shit like that was hilariously funny because it would seem like a joke, whereas now that's the way it is. So I'm laughing at the whole thing. But all it takes, though, is moments like that where you feel appreciated. And next thing you know, you really are what you never thought you would be. So this moon is having that effect on people. Those touched by this full moon energy will be able to neutralize a fiery environment just by being present. And they said because it's a moon in Libra, it's a balancing energy. And somebody say, well, how is that balance? It is balance. If you feel, you got to understand balance is a big word. That's why I said sometimes it's hard to talk to people because they be on one level. I'm not justifying, I'm explaining. There's a difference. Bottom line is, if you felt unappreciated, you felt a certain type of way, you felt neglected, you felt like nobody's interested in you, and then the universe or whoever puts you in a situation where you feel a different way, that's the temptation, that's the offer. And some people are going to take it. That's all I'm telling you. Some people may have already taken it. So they say during this moon, people become very naive or even ignorant of the results of their actions. Like I said, the perfect time for that stuff to happen. And once again, they're telling you to watch out because some people may take advantage of you. So don't let them. And they also, she's talking about Mayat too. I also think the qualities of Mayat are strong here too. Now, because the moon quincunx Uranus, you're going to have crazed lunatics, unconventional rebels, quiet outsiders. So there will be a pathological need to shock and outrage. But remember, Uranus also rules Aquarius, and the moon is going to have that effect on it too. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be like a Pisces Aquarius effect. Pisces is feelings. Whoa. And then Aquarius is I don't care what people think. That's that R. Kelly shit. It doesn't matter. Age ain't nothing but a number. I feel like you're ready. All these songs he was telling you what he was doing. Now y'all act like it's R. Kelly and young girls. Man, the dude told you, like, how long he been around? Like 20-something years or something? All right, been around a long-ass time he been telling y'all. So why is it a shock now that he's sleeping with young girls when he told you that way back when? So they're saying this moon quincunx Uranus has to do with upbringing. This is the time it examines unconscious behavior patterns from childhood. But what I'm trying to tell you, if you're listening to what I'm saying, all it's really doing is moon quincunx Uranus is helping Aquarius connect. That's all. All this is feelings and doing something that you normally wouldn't do. Like it's just a shock. But I already told you, because when you're dealing with Uranus, you have to be careful of, like they said, upheavals, but also even electrical problems, technical problems. So during a full moon, you purge and release things from your life. And again, you got to understand the theme of the moon. It could be any type of purge, but again, it could be anything. If you've been holding back, you're finally going to let go. If you've been saying, you know what, that's wrong, you're finally going to say, you know what, it doesn't matter. It's going to be like a flip around. So they say this full moon will encourage people to do things they normally won't do, and they may regret it later. So now they're talking about this moon is going to cause a brightness of the sun. See, the last one was a form of eclipse where they said that the moon would be, where the sun would be dark for a little bit. But now they're saying this one, the sun will actually be very bright, and it's going to have to expose the demons in our lives. So whatever you sowed at the new moon, whatever you sowed at the new moon, you're going to reap at the full moon. So when it's a full moon, the veil between the worlds are thinnest. So you have to be very careful what you invite in. So they say you want to use it to purge things out, not invite things in. You want to use the full moon to banish entities, bad habits, and you want to ban them back to the underworld. It's funny because I had a preacher that used to say that I rebuke you and send you back to the pits of hell where you belong. And it says make sure you close the doors firmly afterwards. They even said it is a good time for exorcisms, but make sure you are completely grounded and that you are fully in control of the process. They said if you don't know the process, don't get involved with it. Just do your best to protect yourself. A lunar eclipse is a turbocharged full moon where the red blood moon makes a graphic statement of any symbolic deaths or aborted projects that might occur at this time in our lives. So they're talking about the Two of Swords. It's about two people arguing and they're locked into battle. And there's very little sign of forgiveness or compromise. So karmically, the Two of Swords shows a polarity of Aries to Libra, where Libra is the other The balancing of the scales indicate finding a compromise in this lifetime to extremisms in the past. So she's looking at 2 fixed stars, Markeb and Seat. And Sheet is the fixed star of the sun in the sails of Argo. So now they're saying Markeb still resides in Virgo Deacon 3, but it is the closest star to this full moon by conjunction. So they're still talking about floods, major disasters, shipwrecks, mining accidents. He said aeroplane accidents. I don't know if he meant airplanes. I don't know, but there have been airplane accidents. So she's saying an overriding theme of the full moon is balance. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is not balance the way you think of it. I mean, it'll probably be that too. But it's not balanced like, I don't know. Oh, male and female together, or whatever you perceive as balance. This is a different type of balance. This is a balance for like people that are repressed. That's why we're dealing with the 12th house. Depression, like depressed, and people that are, like a female that's always getting hurt by guys. So the balance for her is not going to be another guy because they always hurt her. It's that type of balance. And for guys, the same thing. It's an Aquarian balance, is what I'm telling y'all. I kept telling y'all before. Like, that's why I said stop undermining me like I don't know what I'm talking about. This is what I said to y'all. I said we have entered the Aquarian period. I said I'm not going to call it the Aquarian age, but we have entered the Aquarian period. And I'm saying it again. And then Thomas More, who was an Aquarius, he said that we may be in Aquarius age. I said I'm not ready to say that yet. But we've definitely entered an Aquarian period where it's more about like, you have to understand. I'm going to try to explain something to you. Some of the greatest empires that have been on this planet, they were more Aquarian age or Aquarian period empires. Like, it was Rome who gave you laws where if the cops ran up on you, you say, hey, I'm a Roman citizen, and they would back the fuck up. Because that's what Paul did. They ran up on Paul. Paul was like, I'm a Roman citizen. Because they thought he was just like a Christian or Hebrew. So they thought they could just run up on him and bully him. Paul said, I'm a Roman citizen. The moment he said it, they became terrified. Now, y'all just saw what I just did. Made a phone call, identified myself. Boom, they know who I am. They got call ID. I know one time I called a powerful person in New Jersey government, and his office called me back and left a phone message on my machine. But he apparently wasn't happy with that, because when I went to check, because I checked the message, heard it. When I went to check that message again, somehow they called me back and erased it. That's power. So when you know, that's why I be telling people all this low level stupid stuff. When you know the law, when you know your rights, even when you work for an employer, like I learned that a long time ago, an employer can't just talk any way he wants to. There's laws. I learned all that shit. I mean, I was a tough cookie to deal with back then. I was I took this shit that I learned, which y'all call like in the hood or whatever you want to call it. Some people say in the street, whatever you want to call it. I took that same, ain't nobody fucking with me here, ain't nobody gonna fuck with me in them offices, and I meant it. And I knew how to get information, knew how to find out who I was talking to, and I always found out who their bosses was. I didn't waste my time talking to no middleman or middlewoman. I talked to bosses. And that's another reason why I'm still sitting here. So for me, I'm glad my family was crazy and dysfunctional. For me, I'm glad my father beat me so much that I had to defend myself, because now I'm not afraid to fight anybody. But for people to understand what I do, I fight for the underdog. That's why I keep my prices affordable, and I try to help people if they want to get help. But some people they don't want to be helped. They just want drama. And once I see that, I have to begin to distance myself. I had a guy I was friends with, but he wants to be in fantasy world. He wants to go into the world of spirituality, but he doesn't want to do it God's way. How are you going to have spirituality without God when God is the spirit? So it begins to sound silly to me. And if that's good for him, that's good for him, but that's not good for me, because I still believe in structure and discipline. And who knows? Maybe with this whole Aquarian thing coming on, maybe I might not feel that way again. I don't know. So now they said the elites have pushed things out of whack, and now the universe is swinging things back the opposite way. So they say many right-wing people, they becoming very, very extreme. And they're saying almost like how Islam has become or had become. Now remember, you can read this at darkstarastrology.com, because they said it, not me. And they say even when you see somebody wearing a MAGA hat, they can get beat up or worse. And they're saying that the sun has just entered Aries, so it's about to heat up. And they say because Mercury is retrograde, be careful traveling. Understand that your communications may be misunderstood, or your technologies may also begin to act funny. So don't go out and spend a lot of money for a repair that would have fixed itself after the retrograde anyway. Yep, so they keep saying the sun is in Sheet, and that star is associated with airplane crashes, and we've had 2 of them so far. So they're telling you to be very careful flying. So the word Markeb means to lift the veil of Isis. And that means to reveal a great secret. So they're saying you're going to see some revelations from whistleblowers. Like the guy that got killed. Like, I kind of understand mob stuff. Now, you never kill a mob boss. That's unheard of. That's very rare a mob boss gets taken out. Now, when he got taken out in front of his house, that means his own people had something to do with that. Because he's a mob boss. He's supposed to have people protecting him at his house. That's the last place you should get wiped out. So that means the people that were protecting him didn't. 2 reasons. See, over in Staten Island, there's a situation going on. And possibly the people in the other crime family were pushing on his territory and he didn't like it. But those people were arrested and taken to court. He may have helped provide information. Now let me try to explain a couple of things to you. How the world really works. Now I'm only going by the timing because I studied that. As soon as I saw that and I knew the dates, like I'm trying to tell you people, and I knew all that mafia and his name Cali and all that. I knew even that name Frank. See, when Jesus was born, they brought him frankincense. Even that name Frank. I used to work with a guy named Frank. All this metaphysical stuff used to happen and all that with Frank. He put a mood ring on, and I saw it. The moment he put a mood ring on, I never saw a mood ring just start changing the colors. It looked like some type of kaleidoscope. Like it went from all the color. Like that was crazy. Usually when you put a mood ring on, it might change a couple of colors, and then it sets a color. He put that mood ring on, and it went like you were at a discotheque. So that's a highly strong metaphysical name, even France. And if you understand the history of France and the melanated people, which are the people of God, they have a strong history. That's why if you go to a lot of places like Haiti, even in Africa, they speak in French. They speak on a French accent. And if I'm not mistaken, the number 7 in France have a connection, and the planet Neptune in France have a connection. That's all mysticism. So if they say so, or the other thing is some type of an agreement was made between those families that didn't include him. But still, when you get killed, because it looks bad, like you have to understand, these guys, they worry about how they look. That's a gang mentality. Because when you take somebody, say it was the enemy, which I'm telling you it wasn't the enemy. When you let the enemy come into your home turf and take out your boss, man, you look like a bunch of pussies. That's any gang, whether it's the mob or any color. It looks horrible. But when you wanted to get rid of them, you don't care. But why do you get rid of a mob boss? Snitching. See, the way I understand the code is, even if you're snitching on the other family, snitching ain't allowed. See, y'all can thank Tekashi 6ix9ine for that hit that just went down. Because of him, destroyed a whole lot of shit. So they damn sure ain't gonna have no guy in mob boss. Because if you tell on an enemy, if you work with our enemy and tell on your enemy, how do we know you're not gonna tell on us when they come for you? So that's why I told you that used to be a hardcore mob. You don't know nothing. You don't say nothing. You don't know. We'll handle it. My friend Mike Marino back in 2003. So you gotta understand, a week after my big party, my sister got married. And she's still married to the same guy. And they have 2 beautiful children. But I remember Mike Marino saying, because at that time, a drunk driver had hit one of John Gotti's children. And killed him. No, his son. And that's still the same crime family we talking about now, just a different leader. See how things change, but they really don't change. And Mike Marino, because all of Mike Marino's jokes were mob affiliated jokes. Like, my birthday would have sucked if it wasn't for Mike Marino. Like, it really was, it sucked. and that's my big thing. And the comedians before Mike Marino sucked. And I'm sitting there like, damn, what a horrible way to spend your birthday. I don't get along with the comedy club because they weren't funny. Like they came up with so many fucking rules. Like when they first opened, because I used to be in there a lot, because I'm kind of like a comedian. I used to be in there a fucking lot, and when they first opened, they were cool. But then somehow they became really, really mean. Like they wanted to control where you sat at. They wanted to control every fucking thing. It wasn't fun no more. Like you have to understand, if you want a successful comedy club, you got to remember people want to get away from the bullshit of life. So when they come in your spot, you got to have an air of fun. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with drunks and all kind of crazy shit, but that's any bar. But when you go Gestapo, when you start telling people where to sit and they better do this, and you're following them to the bathroom, and they're trying to pay the bill, and you're standing over top of them, that's a problem. So that's what happened to the comedy club. That particular one. And so for the moment Mike Marino stepped on stage that night, it was hilariously funny. He was loud, he was full of energy, and he was on that Jersey shit. The shit I grew up on. Beating people with bats and shit. I said, I love this guy. Like, it was like he could never do no wrong. And I got to talk to him after because he's in the lobby, and I was talking shit to him and shit. And like, he could do no wrong. So even now, like, recently, he came to Jersey. He was like, yo, I'm back in Jersey. I need you people to call up the radio station. So I was calling up for him, but he could be real. But I know that I know Mike because I used to be in a comedy club with him. He's got like a psychotic side and shit. But he's funny though. So he's kind of like bossing me around. Like I said, oh, I don't work for this guy. This guy's not paying me. But I still did it because it's Mike Marino. So anyway, he says this his mob joke. He says, hey, listen. He said, he was talking about, John. He said if a drunk driver kills somebody in a mob's kid, he said, we don't wait on. He said we don't wait on the justice system and shit. He said we got our own way to handle those things and shit. He said so when they ask us like that when the justice system asks us, how do you feel about this guy? We want to lock him up. We're going to throw the book at him. What do you want us to do about it? What is your family want to, what do you? He said the mob family goes, hey, don't worry about it. Let him out. We forgive him and shit. They just waiting for this dude to get let out because they're going to kill his ass as soon as he get out and shit. So I was laughing. Now, like I said, you got to respect people that handle shit at the end of the day because it's too much bullshit now. Like me, it's just too much fuckboy shit. It's too much just bullshit. So I've always been, handling business. So I always respect like you gotta. I work in the township with. They're all here. I used to work for the township, so I would see them and shit. But I was never afraid of them. Sometimes I just know stuff. There's a history between like what you call melanated people and mob guys, and there's a history from like ancient history from what y'all might call the Moors, going through Italy, going through Europe. And it's still there to a certain degree. And like I learned a long time ago, if you're a man, you'll be respected as a man. But if you're not, and I'm not making this gender, so please don't think I'm saying gender. I don't got nothing to do with gender because I know a lot of guys that go both ways that got way more heart than a lot of people. So I'm not talking about gender or sexuality. It's when you stand like a man, you'll be respected as that. And that's one thing like Italians and stuff that I know. That was always. That was important. Just like somebody like Putin. Putin is respected by a lot of people. You would be shocked how many people got a lot of respect for Putin. I'm not saying he's a great guy. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just letting you know there's a lot of people that got respect for Putin because he don't take no shit. He tells you where he stands, and he's not going to necessarily back down. Like he's a master chess player, so he knows when to move forward, when not to. He'll send his jets into other people's territory, and he knows when to back out of it and stuff. Like, he's just Putin. He's like, but he's a master chess player, and all the while he's letting you know that if you think I won't strike, you're out of your fucking mind. For me, it's just a matter of when. But that's a mob. That's how mob guys are. But you don't understand my point. When people know you don't fuck around, you don't get fucked with. That's a fact. And that's why I said I used to work at I used to work for a place where it's a lot of contractors, but I used to work in the office, so you see a lot of shit. This one dude came from one of the most respected Irish families around. That dude used to do what the fuck he wanted in that office. He had everybody terrified in that office. He never fucked with me. Me and him got along. In fact, when he found out I became a preacher, when I became ordained, he reached in his wallet, pulled out a picture of his children that was still in his wife's stomach, and he asked me to bless it. Now, if you ask me what was my best time as a pastor, it would have been that. Because that guy had that much faith in me as a pastor, but in God, I really respected that. So it's a lot of spirituality. I tried to tell you all that in the beginning of this. There's a lot of spirituality with those people. So I try to teach you, but if you believe what you want to believe, then you can stay in fantasy land. I'm trying to teach you the real world. So there's a reason why I saw a guy that's definitely related to Mike Marino. He looks just like him. Move like him, talk like him, mannerism. I'm like, man, this guy, I had to ask him. And there's a reason why that went down. And then there's a reason why the thing happened the very next day. And at the end of the day, all this stuff is about codes and stuff like that. If a mob boss got taken out, there was a reason for him, because that was done by his own people. That was not a rival gang. When you get killed in front of your own house, that means your people didn't protect you. There's a reason. So like when you're playing football and a guy gets on your fucking nerves and you stop blocking him. You stop blocking for him and let him get fucked up. I'm sorry. Listen, there's like I said to Mike Marino, us Jersey guys got to stick together. Like it's just. I'm sorry if you don't understand the lifestyle, but it is what it is. But I'm saying, if you want to blame anybody for that guy, blame Tekashi 6ix9ine, because he helped these guys remember what happens. Like everybody has a code of honor. Everybody has a code of honor. You just gotta understand. I'm sorry if you're so naive you don't get that. You think like when an innocent black guy gets killed, there was no reason to shoot him, blah blah blah. Do you really think somebody's gonna come forward and say I was there? Like when they beat the crap out of Rodney King, did you really see anybody stand up and say, hey, I was there and it shouldn't have happened? No, it's just a code of honor. Like even if I work for a company, like when you work for a company, they hired you. So if you want to leave. But don't talk about shit going on in the company. That's none of your, you leave. That's why I said a lot of people, we all respect Malcolm X, but when you're leaving, leave. Don't say anything about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He cleaned you up. He taught you knowledge. So how dare you say something? It's not proper. If you're unhappy, leave. It's that simple. This man has been around long before you came. His teachings are still here, even though it's not what it used to be. Peace out to the gentleman. I think he's in Atlanta, Georgia, that still teaches what Elijah Muhammad used to teach, because Farrakhan doesn't teach what Elijah Muhammad used to teach. So if you come in, people went out of their way to help you. If you feel a certain way, then just move on. You don't have to keep talking about them. All right. Now, me, I'm a fighter. If you're putting my name in your mouth, you're probably going to hear from me at some point. It's just my nature. So for my own survival, sometimes I have to deal with reality. But I do try to keep a lot of stuff private and quiet, but sometimes you can't. For your own sanity. All right, let's get ready to get up out of here. Oh yeah, with Aries, there's going to be a lot of fires as well. So watch your stove and watch all that stuff. because it could be fires. Make sure you get your card checked out. Even with Mercury retrogrades and Aries, that could be a lot of stuff too. So that's why they were talking about whistleblowers. So that's why I'm trying to tell you. Most likely, he thought he was going to help them prosecute his rivals because they're fighting. They were basically, somebody's pushing it on your territory. He thought that was the best way to handle it. But after what Tekashi 6ix9ine did, everybody's like, oh hell no. Now they're going back old school. That's what that was about. Like I said, if you blame 6ix9ine, you think I'm lying? I know this shit. Believe me. Blame 6ix9ine for that. Because 6ix9ine reminded everybody what happens when you betray everybody and snitch. So that's why they got him, because he was snitching. And they're like, if he snitches on us, snitch on us. This guy's got to go. And they already had a leader that did. Because I studied all of that. That's what I did this morning. As soon as I saw that shit, I started researching it, and I knew. They already, not that particular family, it was another family where the leader started snitching. Like, what the fuck? What happened to ethics? What the fuck happened when a mob leader starts snitching? What the fuck is that? So they're not playing. You gotta go quick. They don't care who you gotta go. It doesn't matter. You gotta go. I had a friend's father, this was a long time ago. I had a friend's father that was a caretaker at a cemetery. And the mob guys came and saw him. And they offered him. They said, listen, we're going to get rid of the bodies. We want to bury them here. We'll pay you. And then he says his father, I think he said his father turned him down or not. I don't know. But that's kind of scary. What happens if I say no? You're scared to death. And then I had another friend whose father actually saw the mob guys murder somebody. This was a long time ago when I was a kid. I think the father's dead now. But the father, he said he came home, he was sweating, he was shaking, he took showers and shit. Because they actually killed this dude. Because he owned some type of restaurant or something. And they killed the dude. And then one time, but I was a soldier though. Because one time they was shaking this dude down. But I was mad because the dude used to make the best Philly cheesesteaks. Wow, beautiful. I'm young. I would get a Philly cheesesteak and they were shaking them down. So I was mad at these guys because you're messing with this guy and you're messing with my food. And I was mad. So I came walking up in that store and they were in there. It was two mob guys. It was him and two mob guys. They were shaking them. It was almost like a TV show. Like I was supposed to be the good guy or something, coming to save this guy. So I walked in and they just looked at me. And I said, fuck it. I'm still coming in here. I was like, no, I'm not leaving. I said, fuck it. I came in. I was like, no, I'm not leaving. Like, first, you're fucking my food up. And second, this is the hood. Like, what the fuck? I was just mad. So I came in the whole time. They were just looking at me and shit. And I came in. I ordered my food. I walked through the store, went up, paid for my shit, and then I left. But they respected me because I wasn't scared of them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Nobody's not going to respect you if you're a bitch. Like, you can't be scared. Like, fuck it. I've had guns pulled down and shit. I've been shot at. Like, what the fuck? All right. All of us got skills for a reason. That's why I said when you learn how to adapt to who you are, you'll grow strong. But if you're going to be running all the freaking time, then you're going to be running. And I tell a female the same way. You want love? Y'all got way more power than us. But for some reason, mentally or emotionally, y'all don't realize that. Or you use your power the wrong way. See, listen. Take some of it. My sister's still married. Anybody thinking I don't know what I'm talking about? My sister's still married because she's finally learned how to listen. Learn how to use your feminine power the right way. Not to break a guy down. Not to hurt a guy. Not to manipulate a guy. But you got to use your power the right way. And if you did use your power the right way, you would have all that stuff you want. But sometimes I wonder if you really want it. Because it would be kind of boring if you had to come back to the same guy all the time. So I think women are a lot smarter than we give them credit for. I remember one time when I was in school, all the guys wanted to cheat on me because I looked like a nerd, so they thought I was smart. So they all cheated off my paper or whatever, and everybody failed, including me. So I remember my friend said, he became my friend, but he wasn't my friend at that time. He said to me, you know what, you look smart, but you dumb as hell and shit. So then somebody said, oh no, he's not dumb. He failed on purpose, so y'all would stop cheating off of him. But I said, I didn't. I failed because I was stupid. Like, I really was stupid. I didn't know what I was. But that was sheer brilliance. Sheer brilliance to fail on purpose so they think I'm stupid, so they stop cheating on me. But that's how you females are. Y'all are way smarter than you get credit for. So I think a lot of you guys don't want like a happy relationship, because that's boring as fuck. Same guy all the time, coming to the same location and shit. So I think y'all do shit on purpose. Like, y'all do shit to keep the shit going, the drama going and all that shit. Because then that gives you a freedom to do what the fuck you want to. In fact, I dare to say that Aquarius energy probably defines the feminine. It's free. It's caring to a certain degree, but it's very free energy. And under all this Uranus Aquarius stuff going on right now, you're probably going to hear more about literal free energy as well, too. It's all the same thing. Everything is one. So, let's wrap this up, but we're going to go around really quick, because I think we got the essence of what this is all about, this particular full moon in Libra. All right, so here we go. That was the 12th house, first house, all about Scorpio. But again, 12 degrees, this is all mysticism. 12 degrees is Neptune and Scorpio, highly mystical. Her 8th house is Scorpio. We basically already covered that with Uranus and all that. And we just covered it again with Scorpio. Sagittarius is Jupiter. But again, see, Sagittarius could represent a more stable relationship. This is what I'm being led to talk about. See, this is the Aquarian period where whoever's coming in your life, whether it's considered weird or I mean, even though now all that stuff is accepted, you got to remember it wasn't that accepted. It was done, but it was done in the dark, in the closets, not no more. So I'm trying to tell you, based on the reading I got today, I'm basing it on that information. Sagittarius is more stable energy. It's the 9th house, a little bit more maturity. But I'm trying to tell you what the universe is doing is taking situations that were considered weird years ago and now making them more acceptable, more stable. And Jupiter is going to bless them with finances and expansion and good reputation and all the stuff that Jupiter does. Now, there's a prophet named Kim. Used to play the piano. He died. I believe he died shortly after Harold Camping's prediction that May 21st, 2011 was going to be the end of the world. So Kim gave further insight to that prophecy. And then I think he died shortly after that, if I'm not mistaken. But one thing Kim said was there would be a woman that the majority of people don't crave, don't want to know, don't want to be a part of. So she views that as hate. And so he said, you hate her now, but you'll love her then. So what I'm trying to tell you, all the stuff I'm trying to tell you now, it has a greater fulfillment in that woman. Now that woman I'm talking about is the one who all these, the old, especially the old school mob guys, they all have respect for. And that's the Mother Mary. who is another manifestation of Isis. That's why the two popes bowed down to the Black Madonna. The Black Madonna is just another manifestation of Isis. So I hope you all heard that, because that's what's really going on now. We're getting closer and closer to the world. Because I want to tell you in Proverbs chapter 8, if this is coming out of the Protestant Bible, if they don't acknowledge that woman in Proverbs chapter 8, they will be wiped out. It's essential that they do. Because how the hell can you go to heaven when you don't confess the womb that you came out of? So that's why we're talking about the second house, which is ruled by Taurus and all that. And it's a shakeup, it's a shakeup, it's a shakeup. And this is why I'm trying to tell you, the first thing the new Pope did was he got the former Pope and said, hey, let's bow down to the Black Madonna. That's a fact, because he knew. He knows this stuff I'm telling you. And also he was washing women's feet. And they were like, why? He's a false Pope. You don't wash a woman's feet. And he was trying to equate equality between the female and the male. Even talking about making females priests and stuff like it. And they were going crazy. They're like, man, nah. But really, in that regard, what he's doing is in perfect harmony with the age that we're entering. Perfect harmony. I'm talking about the stuff I said. I'm not talking about all the other stuff, but that stuff. And obviously, somebody somewhere is angry about pedophilia because they're really making that a thing to expose people and cost them their livelihood and all that. That never used to happen. So I believe that's part of this Aquarian age too. And remember, Mars was recently in Aquarius. That's bringing justice to all these victims and people. Third house, Gemini. Capricorn, a little serious. 19 degrees, which is the sun. 15 is Capricorn. 22 is that twin flame. And it's also karmic. So remember, the third house can be about brotherhood, but it's also about younger children, younger things. It's also about publishing and communications. So for some reason, Pluto is there transforming. So maybe if you have any type of Capricorn on your chart, there's going to be some type of karmic transformation there. But the purpose, I guess, is enlightenment. And the 22 is kind of like a hint. But 22 is also the number of God's people. And Pluto is a planet of God's people. So it almost looks like there's going to be more and more of a serious attempt to tell you the truth. Just like lately you've been hearing about reparation to the so-called African slaves. You never used to hear talk like that. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in this third house. Fourth house, we've already explained the whole Aquarius thing. This is giving love to what's normally not loved. Just like he said, Kim said. Because remember, the fourth house is the mother's house. I'm Umkweli. But it's not just her. This is love, like I said, even people that, we normally stay too busy to, whatever. Whatever, we say charity, people in need, whatever. Fifth house is the Pisces love that almost becomes unrealistic. Where you just see good, that you don't want to see anything else. But remember, 16 degrees is a Mars-like towers falling that causes this to happen. But Neptune is also number 12 energy, which is the hangman, which is a person that goes into their own little world and stays away. And then number 9, it's funny I said towers, and that's 9/11. So you'll be hearing about 9/11 for some reason during this time period too. 9/11, 9 is a hermit. And hermit is saying, I got my own light. I don't necessarily have to go by yours. But you were 16 degrees and 9/11, it could be something else that's about to come down. And I think RFG Chosen One just told us it's about to be another 9/11 type of. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing. Because 16 degrees is the tower coming down. And then 9/11, that's 9/11 as it is. And then 18 degrees is the moon. And it even has, again, 23. That 23, we already defined what that 23 is about. And that's in the 5th house. And then the 6th house is healing. But remember, the 6th house has to do with the home or homeland security. And then you got the K. Now, why is the K at 1 degrees? Because a lot of times people use trickery. But even though they're using trickery, you still get healing. Seventh house is Taurus religion, Taurus relationship, but it's still dealing with finance. So the 2nd house, 23 again. You see that 1 degree again? This is all Mercury trickery. So for you, it is saying that the relationship, some aspect of your relationship, and I'm not talking about the same person because it could be different people. Some aspect will be Mars-like or Tower-like going down, but through that will be a better relationship that may have already started for all I know. One you're a little bit more comfortable with. But it does have a feminine connotation. Whether it's a female or just a male, it's way more feminine, way more sensitive. And there's your Chiron. So it could be more healing for you as well. And then the 8th house, because we've been talking about you and Gemini for a while. And there's a vertex cross. And Juno as well. But I told you, Gemini energy is sort of like Aquarius energy. So that's why I said it could be a male energy, but somehow you get to see his sensitive side or something like that. Or maybe some secrets might come out about him. Because like I said, revelation. Because I'm trying to show you when I first started how anybody that sat on any type of mob boss position really was working for Ma. That's why they call it the mob and mafia and all that. She's the boss. And I think the higher up they go, they probably know that, but that's secret shit that they could never admit. Or maybe they don't even know it. But I'm pretty sure they do. Like I said, I believe like even in your entertainers that like if you listen to a lot of like I just did it. I went back to like the Slim Shady EP. A lot of y'all don't know that. Before the Slim Shady LP, there was a Slim Shady EP. And he started it off talking to the devil. Then on YouTube, you hear him saying, the witch, I got the witch. This is Slim Shady. He's going down in history as one of the greatest rappers of all time. So he knows who all these people I'm talking about are. He knows who the devil is. He knows that woman. Even when homie told you going back to Cali. He's telling he knows who Callie is. That's why he's always licking his lip like she does. Callie always got her tongue out. And that's the serpentine connection. So all this shit is real. It's just that some of y'all choose to stay stupid. And then when somebody try to tell you the truth, you say they crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I'm fine. Now when it comes to this stuff, I'm not crazy. This stuff is proven and documented. So if you think some of these big bosses don't know who the devil is, or they don't know who Callie is, and don't know all that, you crazy. They do know. And sometimes they get taken out of their place because they didn't do what they were supposed to. So there's some type of Gemini thing going on, and it's still noticing 15 degrees Capricorn. This is how you know I know what I'm talking about. See, that 15 degrees is the Capricorn card, or the devil card. That takes you right back to where Capricorn is. I told you this has something to do with a relationship. And I told you it was Gemini, the third house. And there's Gemini with the 15 degrees. So that's how you know I know what I'm talking about. Now the vertex cross, again, 9 degrees. So I told you that was Virgo energy. And that takes you right back down here to the whole Pisces thing. And this is all about service and Virgo energy and all that. And the 8th house. And the 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. So whatever I said about Scorpio. And then the 9th house, which is that Sagittarius energy. True North Node is Capricorn. But again, it's still dealing with Sagittarius or 9th house energy. So believe it or not, there may even be some healing with families at this time with this full moon. So like I said, like in my case, I got family coming here very shortly. So that's why you just try to watch your attitude, and don't go in with a bad attitude, because it might be a time for healing. Tenth house medium Coeli Leo energy at 7 degrees, and that's how I was though. Yesterday I was a man. Cause I be all through, like when I got energy and stuff, I'm the man. I was all through that place. I was like I was the king of customer service. I did pretty good with retail. The guy that hired me is the second in command, and he walked up to me at the end of the day. I requested to go home early because nobody was in the store and we had enough people. I was like, I got work to do. I gotta go home. He said, yeah, you can go home. He's like, great job. And at 7 degrees again, mystical. It could be connected to Neptune, because I definitely got a connection to Neptune. 7 is also very mystical. And Neptune will always be connected to Pisces. My sister's a Pisces, she's coming. And 7 is the Cancer card, the Chariot. And they are coming. That's Chariot's coming. And it's Cancer energy, which is family. So that's why I said it could be even healing for the Leo. And her Leo's in the 5th house. But I definitely see money, because Jupiter look good over on this side to the left, and Jupiter looks good on that side. And Leo can be fun and things like that as well. 11th house is Aquarius, but we already know why Virgo's there, because we've been talking about it. This is all about service, and that's a true North Node. And her 14 degrees, again, it's karmic. It's a Sagittarius energy. And then Saturn is there, which again is karmic. At 7 degrees, which we just got finished explaining. But again, Virgo in the 11th house is Virgo Aquarius energy. But remember, Virgo is like the Virgin. It's Virgo or Mother Mary. But it can also be the home and all that. Because if you read Proverbs 31, really the woman, that was a Virgo energy. And she really was supposed to be, that's why it's the home. Because back in those days, it was like the husband basically went out and made a living or whatever. But the mother held everything down. And I keep telling you, it's the woman that gives the law. It's the lawgiver. That's why I said I'm not picking up for Pope. I'm not taking up for Pope Francis. But as far as the esoteric, mystical respect for the divine feminine, he shows that. You might not like it. And even he knows, he named himself Francis of Assisi because it's Francis of Assisi who made the pact with the melanated people, the Moors. See, they all know this stuff that I'm trying to tell you. That a certain race would run this country, this whole world, for a certain period of time. But then a period will come where they have to give it back to the original. And the original will always be that melanated, that darkness. That's all throughout Scripture. That's why it was at the cross with Jesus. Luke 23, 43 to 46. It was with Moses. Exodus 20, 21, when he gave the law. He went into the darkness where God was. This is all facts. It has nothing to do with personal choice and none of that stupid stuff. This is facts. And what I'm trying to tell y'all is, you can see it in astrology, and that day is coming. That day is coming. And everything you see is a matrix. Tell lie vision. They tell lies affect how you view things. But anybody of power knows who that divine mother is. Whether it's a mob guy, president, you ain't getting no power without acknowledging who she is. But those are the best kept secrets. So that's why when you hear like Hail Mary, they know. In the Bible, when they go in hell, they're talking about the mother. Hail Mary, full of grace. And then you say, Heil Hitler, because he knew who she was. Ain't nobody getting no real power on this planet without knowing who the mother is. That's why the Tupac kept telling y'all. Singing about the mother, and all this about the mother. LL Cool J talking about going back to Cali, the mother. Ma Cali. Look it up. Hail Mary. Come and see. Hail Mary. So he's singing about him faking his own death in that song. The grave, ain't nobody in the grave, come and see. He's telling you. And when he did that song, he was telling you about Freemasonry on some of them songs that he did. Or the secrets of Egypt. And he put the mother, Nefertiti, on his chest. Because Nefertiti is Akhenaten. It was Akhenaten who gave you the one God religion and all that. Because before then, they was worshiping all kind of gods. That's why the other Egyptian priests wanted him dead. They did their best to kill Akhenaten. Because before Akhenaten, there wasn't no one God. And that's why in your Bible, Moses, who they say is the bloodline of Akhenaten, he's the one giving you one God. Because before that, there was been many gods. Nobody ever heard of a system with just one God. So this does wrap up this read, because I don't know where else I can go. But I definitely showed you. Primarily, it might be some Mars-like shakeups, some Tower-like shakeups. But essentially, it's reaching out for a love that actually balances you or compliments you. Even if it seems to be strange or weird to other people. And as I can say before, because I was always talking to her about that Gemini energy. Now, whether it's the same energy or a new energy, like I said, it could be a guy's sister or something like that. But it's definitely there. You can see it. Now, am I saying do it or not? I don't say that. I let people make their own choices. I'm only showing you what's there. I'm not saying I agree with any of it. And also, you could expect more and more from what I told you about the mob, the revival of the mob to a certain degree. Whatever I said. Like, I said a lot in this video, but I hope you were taking notes. Like, this is not a joke. This is the stuff that's going to begin to happen now and pick up. That's why it's starting right at spring. It's like the horse is about to spring out that gate. So you want to be on top of it. This is Gat. Remember, I do all services, so make sure you look into it. You can make sure you have the most recent services offered in the price list. Got a lot going on. You can check it out in the description box. You can always go right to the channel because I always got some type of offering out there on the channel. You can find out what's going on. Also, you can always shoot an email with your inquiries. This is Gat. It's been a pleasure. God bless.